You are listening to the Social Hotelier Show, a podcast that inspires hoteliers to create meaningful and memorable experiences for their customers in pursuit of their passion. We share our views and experiences relating to hospitality, technological trends, and also relating to humanity. Here is your host, Sam-Erik Rutman.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Social Hotelier Show with me, Sam-Erik Rutman. What if the most important innovation in hospitality isn't replacing human connection, but making it stronger? My guest today is Jessie Fischer, founder of GuestOS, an AI-powered guest communication platform designed to help hospitality businesses deliver instant personalized support while freeing teams to focus on what they do best, creating memorable guest experiences. Raised in a family hospitality business near Yosemite National Park, Jessie grew up on the front lines of guest service and has seen firsthand how access to the right information can transform guest experience and in some situations even save lives. In this conversation, we'll explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping hospitality, why guest communication remains one of the industry's biggest challenges, how hotels can better support guests during crisis, and why the future of hospitality may depend on providing the right information at the right moment, not just exceptional service. Before we get started, a quick favor. Many people watch and enjoy these conversations, but aren't yet subscribed to the channel. If you find value in discussions with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, and hoteliers, please take a moment to subscribe, like the video, turn on notification. It helps me reach more people across the hospitality industry and continue to bring exceptional guests and fresh perspectives in the Social Hotelier. So grab a coffee and sit back and let's dive in. Hi, Jessie. Welcome to the Social Hotelier. It's great to have you with us today.
It's so great to be here with you.
What's interesting about you, Jessie, is that you grew up inside hospitality business rather than entering it later, like most people, and I entered later in my life. How does that shape the way you see guest experience differently, possibly from other operators today?
Yeah, growing up in hotels, hospitality was never abstract to me because I was working in the operations every day. In fact, I was not on the technology side. I used the little technology that we had at the time, but it really gave me that firsthand, real-world insight into navigating a hospitality business. And my family has from building it to from nothing to operating it. So I really saw the full cycle of buying land and then building it, city permits, all that other fun stuff that goes into it. Hospitality is just such there's so many factors. It's not just the front desk. It's not just reservations. There are so many other things that play into it.
So what I'm hearing is that your parents or your grandparents has been involved in this business and setting up from beginning the whole hospitality business. Am I right?
Yes. So back in the 1970s, my dad saw an opportunity, having not been in hotels or anything. There's just an opportunity to purchase a 12-room motel right outside of Yosemite National Park. And he saw the potential and brought his family into it. And really, that's the whole family was part of it. My grandparents, my uncles and aunts really building. So there's photos from back in the day of just really everyone quite literally building the hotel. And so we're just up there this week with my dad is still in it in the day-to-day. So it's been awesome.
Just considering that Yosemite or the area which I visited, in fact, I arrived when I came to the States, that was 50 years ago, as a student. And the first things I visited, I was based in Las Vegas. And I said I have to get out of Las Vegas once in a while. And that's how I drove to the Yosemite area, but actually to the Mammoth Lakes, in fact. So it wasn't quite in the national park. So I have a little bit of a flair of what the area is like, and I was really breathtaking. I still, when I saw when we met and you talked about Yosemite, it kind of brought me those memories that what it's like, and that kind of fresh air and the mountains that you have and the waterfalls and so on. So that's really something that people who visit, and I can see why that area is very popular for people to visit. But you have worked in so many parts in architecture, storytelling. What through line connects all those chapters for you, since you have seen it from growing up and to what you do today?
Yeah, I've always been very curious about many industries and really how the world works. So I figured the best way to learn those things is to work in those industries. So I worked for about 7 years in different early stage startups from the architecture firm in Carmel and Big Sur. That was not a startup. So that was just, I love outdoor landscapes. I love seeing something come to life from a concept to implementation. And so I also learned there that I was not going to be an architect. So, but then I worked in, food robotics and education technology, fitness technology, and really all of those things helped me understand more of how the world works. And I think a lot of GuestOS is really based on humans.
Okay, so Yosemite seems to be more than just a location in your story. How has that environment shaped your philosophy on hospitality?
Yeah, Yosemite is one of the most stunning places on Earth. It's also one of the most complex and difficult to operate in. Any location in nature deals with a significant more challenging environment than if you're not based in nature. Fires, floods, rock slides, and these things happen. They're unpredictable, and you're welcoming 5 million visitors a year to the Yosemite, and you need to be able to navigate those complex challenges. And also, aside from all of the nature and natural events that happen, you have just a lot of stakeholders. The national park with the federal government. You have a concessionaire that's currently Aramark for the park. And then you have all the gateway partners, and everyone visiting that area is going for Yosemite. So you have to really find a way to open up those lines of communication to make sure the visitor enjoys Yosemite and stay safe.
Yeah. So when a disaster strikes and guests don't know where to go, who's actually responsible for them? The hotel, the destination, or no one?
It's a great... it's a great question. I mean, hotels and everyone really, has the best interests of the visitor in mind. And we're always thinking about the guest safety and visitor safety. So I think the incentives are certainly aligned there. Everyone wants the best safety and information to get to the visitors. But I think where it breaks down is in who owns that information. For example, let's just give a recent example of a rock slide that happened on Highway 140, which is one of the main roads into the park. And so we can relay to the guests that there was a rock slide. But Caltrans is the one on site. They're assessing the situation, and sometimes those things, back to nature and its unpredictability, take time to weigh out. And so, really, just making sure that people have that information from Caltrans directly, can see the updates in real time, and figure out what other route they can take to get to us, my family's hotels, or the park.
Okay. So the GuestOS, I think now is in a kind of a natural way we can talk a little bit about the app and so on. Most hotel tech, as I know it, is built to sell. Yours is built to inform and protect. Why has the industry prioritized revenue over relevance for so long, in your opinion?
I think that just goes back to basic business, right? Like everyone's always looking at the revenue optimization opportunities, and I saw very early on just the gaps of, in people wanting to book these things. And I've seen this both as a traveler and as an operator. So it's like, okay, wonderful. This great dinner was advertised on site at this hotel, but I go to the page and there's no way to book it. So it's like there are a lot of gaps there, and it goes back to the foundation and the operations. It's just not optimized for discovery or for actually booking it. And then the execution part.
Sure.
I remember growing up always suggesting a million things we could do for the hotel to my dad. And then that's where I would learn about all the execution part. Ideas are easy, execution is hard. And that's where you learn about all these things. It's like, oh, okay. Sure. I see.
So the GuestOS, can you explain a little bit how it works and what it is, in fact? Is it something that you download, or is it something you subscribe to? How? Take me like the dummy who like to learn all about that.
Well, the great thing is GuestOS is extremely simple, and both for the people using it, the teams, and for the people, visitors and guests. And so, it started as AI voice, and we have AI teammates that are trained on the specific property. No two properties are the same, and we really take that into consideration. So it started with AI voice. So our AI teammates would answer the phones for these properties, and then it expanded to website chat, SMS, and soon email. And so it's really having that communication layer and meeting the guests where they're already reaching out to get that information and live updates. So I personally am trying to delete any non-essential apps on my phone. So I can't imagine people wanting another layer of friction to get information. Download another app to find out how to book this thing. It's like, no, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to book it. So just making it fit into existing systems and making it more useful for the teams and for the people, the guests and the visitors.
Okay, so can you illustrate how it works? The multilingual, you said you could able to present.
Definitely. I'll take off my AirPods because it's just a phone. It's just a phone call, which is great. I always laugh because my entire favorites on my phone, they're just all of our AI teammates. So, and they all have their own contact, and I call and I learn about the businesses, and I'm like, oh, I need to go here now. So it's really exciting. So I'll actually do an example of the multi-property handoffs, and I'll call our first AI teammate, Sierra, which I built for my family's hotels.
Thank you for calling Yosemite View Lodge. This is Sierra, your AI concierge. Please note this call is recorded. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Sierra. I'm staying with you next week, and I have a few questions about park permits and other entrance questions. Can you please transfer me to the park, Yosemite National Park?
I'll connect you with Yosemite National Park for help with permits and entrance questions. Hello, this is Ivy, your Yosemite AI concierge. This call may be recorded to help improve service. It can assist with visitor information, lodging, activities, dining, and more. How can I help you today?
Hi, I am excited to visit the park next week, and I was wondering, to climb Half Dome, do I need a permit?
Yes, you do need a permit to hike to the summit of Half Dome. Permits are issued through a lottery system. The main lottery happens in March each year. There's also a daily lottery for a limited number of permits 2 days in advance. If you don't already have a permit, you'll want to try for that daily lottery. Anything else you'd like to know about the hike or the park?
Okay, great. I just watched Free Solo and I'm inspired to go climb a mountain. I was wondering, can you transfer me to the mountaineering school? I'd like to see if I can book a class.
I can connect you to the Yosemite Mountaineering School so you can ask about classes and availability.
Hi, this is Alex, your AI concierge with the Yosemite Mountaineering School and Guide Service. Just to let you know, this call is on a recorded line. How can I help you today?
Hey, Alex, I'm excited to visit Yosemite next week. I want to do some beginner rock climbing courses. I was wondering, do you guys offer classes?
Absolutely, we offer beginner rock climbing courses. The Go Climb a Rock class is perfect for newcomers. It covers rope work, belaying, rappelling, and climbing on granite. It's a 7-hour class, and you'll need at least 2 people to join. The price is $225 per person with a maximum of 6 students per instructor. If you're interested, I can leave a note for the team to follow up and help you book or answer any other questions. So would you like me to do that, or do you want more details about the class?
It's all good, Alex. Thanks so much. So that example, as you saw, like I'm staying at that hotel, but I'm going to visit the park and I need to know about the permits. So we actually have Yosemite National Park, our first national park, onboarded, helping visitors for the last week, just went live. And then the mountaineering school, which is managed by, the concessionaire, they're all different businesses, different departments. And so it's really important. As a visitor, many of them not from the area, they don't know or simply care who's managing what. So it's like, I just need the information. I need to get the information to have a great time. And so GuestOS understands the complexity behind how these systems connect, who owns what, and then navigates the person to the right thing to get the things booked, to get the information they need. Otherwise, you end up in this crazy loop of recordings, can't answer anyone, and it's not a good experience. So.
Yeah. How does it work for a visitor who is a non-English speaking, or they prefer to be serviced in, let's say, in French or German?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I can give you that example too. This is fun. I love, and every teammate has its own voice and personality and name. So, we're in hospitality. We have to make this fun, and it should be an experience from the very start. No more robotic recordings. So let's go ahead and call, this Celine.
Hello, thank you for calling Thompson Palm Springs. This is Celine, your multilingual AI concierge. Please note this call is recorded. How may I help you?
Hey, Celine, I'm driving from Los Angeles and we'll probably arrive around 8 p.m. Do you guys have a restaurant that will be open for dinner at that time?
Yes, you'll be set for dinner at that time. Our main restaurant is Lola Rose Grand Meze. Dinner hours there are Sunday to Wednesday, 5 p.m.
Celine, my sister Sarah's coming, and can you speak Japanese?
はい、日本語も大丈夫ですよ。サラさんが日本語ご希望でしたら、そのまま日本語でご案内できます。今のご質問はレストランのことだけで大丈夫ですか?
What about Spanish?
Spanish is no problem either. I can help in English, Spanish, or Japanese for your sister. Whatever's easier in the moment.
Okay, wonderful. Can you speak in Spanish?
Claro, podemos seguir en español sin problema. Sobre lo de la cena cuando lleguen.
Okay, gracias. I know a little bit of Spanish, but certainly not enough for to be hopeful. So yeah, it's really exciting, and our AI teammates that are live in Kentucky have Southern accents. It's really fun, and they have a bourbon trail, and it's really fun. From the moment people are talking with and interacting with the AI, it's exciting, and we get feedback from the guests. The GMs are telling us like, wow, people are asking if they can get their AI teammate for their business. So it's funny, just, word of mouth. And through using it, we're building trust in AI. And that's been a huge thing for GuestOS. We're the first AI that a lot of partners are using. Like, I think for every hotel that we have on board, we're their first AI partner. And, we have 2 Michelin key properties on board. And it's like the service and the teams are so important. And so GuestOS is something that the teams trust and that the guests trust. And, it's a win-win. The guests are having a great experience, and the teams don't have to answer repetitive questions. And
good. So, from what I learned now, this is it's a great tool. And once I drive from Los Angeles or San Francisco, I want to connect, learn about rock climbing. I can have a course and so on. Those are things I would have to try to get somebody, a person to speak with, if I can get them online, and try to figure out how I would be able to book all these things. So if AI can now replicate all these service interactions, what becomes the human edge in hospitality going forward? Because now you have these AI agents who are doing a great job in different dialects.
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing because it's a full circle moment where the teams get to focus on doing what they love. I talk to all the teams and they're answering all these questions that are FAQs or directions, how to get here. But what do they love doing? They love teaching the mountain climbing courses. They love doing the river rafting. They love creating these experiences for guests on site. And so now it frees up time for them to go do these things. And that's really what the industry has been lacking for all these years. Our time has been spent, doing the admin side of things, the repetitive, where when you ask people what their favorite memory from a trip is, it's usually that experience, that in-person conversation, hearing what was your favorite thing or about the locals' favorites, and that storytelling aspect. It's not about, I had the perfect firmness of my pillow or whatever. It's not going to be that.
No, not at all.
I don't. At least I hope not.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's great. So where do you see this idea going from what you have now developed from originally what the idea was, and now you are expanding heavily. Where do you see the future in the application of the GuestOS?
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey so far. Since I started this, every week, I'm like, oh, it's a big week ahead. And I think I was telling my mom that at the time, and she goes, you say that every week. I'm like, yeah, because every week is a big week. And so I'd say that sums up startup life pretty accurately. But I started building GuestOS to solve firsthand problems for our own properties. And then I started talking to other hoteliers, and they said, wait, I need this. And there's this trust that's built as hoteliers. You understand the nuances that you just would not get unless you've worked in it. So I think it's still hotels, and it has expanded into tour operators and events. And so really helping with that communication layer for visitors. And I think I mentioned to you that we're working with Los Angeles tourism and welcoming visitors from all over the world for FIFA. So that's been incredible as well, to be their first AI partner, and to help partnering with Los Angeles tourism, or technically not FIFA directly, but with Los Angeles tourism to welcome all the guests and visitors. And in a location and city as complex as Los Angeles, transportation and all the languages, and they have 88 cities and 10 million residents. There's a lot to navigate there, so it's been really incredible to just see what happens when number one, seeing what people are asking for, where the gaps are, and then number two, helping get people the information.
Yeah, but considering now this the FIFA World Cup event is such a huge event. I mean, the millions of people are following, and that you are now had an opportunity to actually provide service to Los Angeles about this. Any particular things that you have learned, something that you know before about this?
I think it all goes back to my basic principle that everything's connected. Like all these things are interconnected. It's not just, and that's really where I decided to expand beyond hotels, because if you're thinking about the visitor journey, you can't think about it just in terms of their stay at the hotel. It's really the destination. So I realized, okay, we're solving this for hotels, but the moment they call a tour operator or then, maybe the national park, then that's where they're going to get stuck and they're not going to have the exceptional trip they could have. So it's been a lot of just interconnected pieces there. And also with Los Angeles tourism, they're not an individual business. They're helping thousands of businesses. So I think that's been incredible to see. And of course, they're welcoming the world to Los Angeles for the Olympics in a couple years. So there have been many conversations around the future of that. So it's just an exciting time.
Sure is. I'm really glad to hear you're in the right moment to be involved in this and considering the worldwide events that's coming, because FIFA event is huge. Then the Olympics, that's another world event that gives you the opportunity and a stage then for the visitors to get the better experience when they contact. So I mean, one thing, since you have a hotel background, Jessie, so you focus heavily on destinations, not just hotels. Why do you think so many hotels still operate in a bubble, if I may say so?
I think, there's so many factors to it, but, when you think about just kind of, I guess, control maybe what they have control over. And if you don't own, the local tour operators or other organization or restaurants, that's kind of out of your control. So I think hotels optimize for what they can control, like most businesses, and really focus on those things. But I do think we're in an era where people are just adding on so many amenities you can choose from and types of pillow softness or whatever. And you're just adding on these things, but you're not focused on the core experience, and then it becomes this whole thing. You're checking into a hotel or you're booking a room. It's like a whole checkout thing list. It's like, oh, check this and this. I'm like, I just want to go enjoy and have a great time, So I think back to the first principles I believe in, just the value of simplicity and the path to simplicity is complex though. So I think it really requires people to take a direct look at their exact operations today, like just write it down as it exists today, and then see what they can remove, because the industry and technology advancements are moving at a pace faster than we've ever seen. And now there are so many new ways to do things, and you can remove a lot of the things that caused friction or delays. And so I think being open-minded to those changes, So
will this now have a impact on the existing hospitality brands, that some of those brands may not be able to exist because they are not able to live with the times and the fast pace that is affected by the improvements of technology?
Sorry, to confirm, are you in terms of brands that don't adopt technology?
That's right.
Will they be left behind?
Oh, sure. Way back.
Yes, certainly. I mean, these tools allow efficiencies that just really bring us back to that guest experience. And with so many options, people are going to continue to choose the one that gives them, makes them feel the most welcome and the most hospitable. And if you're still dealing with foundational, issues that cause delays, or finding someone to talk to, getting your requests completed, you're just not going to give that hotel a second chance. I think there's,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, the situation now, most of the, let's say, luxury hotels that has traditionally been servicing what I call the baby boomers, and the baby boomers are towards the end of their enjoyment lifespan, and they don't maybe travel as much. Now you have the next generation who has to be catered to. So it seems to be what you're doing now with the technology that is available is actually catering to that generation who is going to be easily for them to accept the services of the hotel and also destinations, or who have the ability to use kind of GuestOS services than the traditional hotels and destinations that are quite of maybe restricting themselves by using maybe the old school ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the greatest things about GuestOS is it doesn't require a new way of learning. You don't have to download an app. The phone's been around for how long? That's not changing. We're just making the phone smarter. So people are still calling. They're just getting, more hospitable response, and they're going to get directed to the right person, and their request is going to be handled end to end. So I think that's something that was really of huge importance to me. And I'll consistently ask, what are the ways that the easiest ways for people to use this and get information? And with the Los Angeles wildfires that happened last year, and we partnered with Malibu Foundation and Compass Real Estate down there to help people get information, find a new home after their home burned down. And that was something that wasn't exactly in our roadmap, but my family's lost 2 homes to wildfires, and if I was able to help some other people get the help that I wish I had, there was no way I wasn't going to do that. And a lot of good came from that. People got the information they needed, but also people during one of the most challenging times of their life were able to communicate with our AI teammates and would even give us the feedback, who helped me? They were so kind. And that's really important in this new era of AI and all these agents. I call ours teammates, but it's really important to get that right. And so something as easy as a phone call that actually a lot of people calling and using the AI hotlines during the wildfire were older, and that's super important to be able to get information to people easily.
Okay, very good. All right, I mean, we covered a lot of area here. So has building the GuestOS made you more optimistic or more critical about the future of the hotel industry?
I am an entrepreneur. I'm optimistic, No, but in all seriousness, I'm more excited than ever because the hoteliers I speak with, we're all really excited because when done right, AI is handling all the repetition, these mundane tasks that aren't a good use of our human creative brains. And so everyone, and then, hoteliers get to focus on these experiences they can offer guests and all the underutilized beautiful spots on site, on their venue, just to really focus on giving these guests a great experience.
Very good. So before we move in now to our final segments called Off the Mic, if people who have seen this episode with you, Jessie, and would like to connect with you, I'd like to learn more how they could actually get some detailed information that would help them for their property and so on, who should they contact? How can they reach out to GuestOS?
Sure. The best way is probably LinkedIn. I'm an inbox zero type of person, so I'm always checking all my messages. And yeah, I would, at the very, I guess one of my favorite things to do is connect with fellow operators and talk about the future of the industry and really collaborate. So,
very good. So, of course, that's my question is also, where do you see the future of the hospitality?
Yes, so I think the future of hospitality will be more human. Like the best technology gives us time to spend, with each other and staying present. I think that's a huge thing. So much of travel and being on site, you're just constantly searching like, how do I book the whatever river rafting or mountain thing? So you're constantly just like searching and you don't have a lot of time to just stay present and enjoy the moment, enjoy where you are. And I think that technology advancements will allow us to do that. So things are booked and then you can go enjoy and stay present.
Very good.
And also the front desk can stay present because, you're checking in, phones are ringing. This happens at every hotel too. It's not just a certain type of hotel. It's every hotel. You're checking in, there's a line, someone is answering the phone or, it's like this level of not being present because there's so many things going on.
I'm quite keen on certain things that are a little bit outdated in hotels, like the front desk. Do we need a front desk anymore? Is there a way around how we can just get rid of that because we still have the person who is going to look after the guest when they're arriving, not from behind the guest, but maybe there's more of a different way. But taking all the technology we have with the smart glasses and etc., that you can recognize the guest automatically. I call them by name and so on. I'm just interested to see your view on where all this technology to provide a better human service is going, and where do you see it? Where are we going with this, in your opinion?
Yeah, there are so many advancements. I think sometimes the line gets taken a little too far where it becomes almost creepy because the most important thing is to remain genuine. So if I'm like coming into a hotel and they're like, "Hey, Jessie, how's your dog Remy?" and I never told them about Remy, I'm just like weirded out, just be human. I think that, so I've definitely heard from people who haven't been in hospitality these ideas that are certainly more on the line of being creepy and like invasive. So I think when you really break down what makes front desk experiences less pleasant, it's really the logistics side of things. But I had been to a hotel, I think it was in Switzerland, and there is no front desk. It was just a kiosk, and it felt like it really lacked the welcoming thing. I want to see a welcoming face and ask how they're doing. And hey, it's so great to be in this area. I think there's this level of, when people are visiting a new place for the first time, the hotel is where they're staying. They go to them if there's a problem, if they need help. So it's really important to maintain that level of interaction to know, like, if something goes wrong, I can go up to you and you'll be there. So I think...
Yeah, I also mean, for me, it's very important that there is you have a person you can connect with and sort of a welcoming person who is actually, and don't ask kind of creepy, like they seem to know you very well. I'll give you an example of a hotel I visited. We visited in Seoul, in Korea, and it's a very small hotel. You walk into the lobby, and actually you don't see a person, but you see this dinosaurs roaring when the door opens. And then when you turn, and there's a desk, and you see two sort of robots or something, and then they they didn't say anything to us, but it was a roaring, was a welcome, and then I guess you have to put in some code that you have paid for your room, and then the process starts, and then a door will open and you can get to your room eventually. But it was not quite a human experience, but I can see that when you're taking a little bit too far, maybe it can be a kind of fun thing that you think of, but I really still think that there's a person you can relate to, that you have met, and because at the end, that experience, despite of how nice room is with nice pillows and great views, it's a person that you met from the hotel that, at least in my opinion, gives you the memory why you thought that was a great experience.
Exactly. Although I think my 6-year-old nephew would love that dinosaur hotel. Would be the best thing. But yeah, I think when you go to all of our industry events, and people are in hospitality for so long because we don't want to leave. Like, it's the people at the core. It's knowing firsthand, what was your favorite experience, and like, oh, it was the front desk person telling me their favorite place to get tacos, the local places. Like, I don't want you. Those are the moments that matter, I think.
Sure. Very good. All right, let's move over to the off the mic. This is more of a kind of a quirky and funny questions. I mean, I don't say that we haven't had funny conversation already, but these are going to be more of the things we'll learn a little bit about Jessie. That I haven't prepped you on this, so it's going to be a little bit of surprise. But I think I would be interested to know, what is your first musical memory, or a memory from your childhood that when you hear it again, it brings you memories from your parents or your home or something?
Musical, as in an actual... As a music that you hear. I see. I think... Okay, this is really random, and I bet you... if my dad even sees this, but it's so random, but always just like him whistling in the morning, and like I don't know, I just remember being like, it was such a just positive, like, oh, really, anything that was going on, it'd be like, don't worry, like, we'll figure it out, and always maintaining that optimism. I think now, having gone through some of the things firsthand, I give him a lot of credit, and also just maintaining it. It's like, no problem is too big to solve, like, we'll figure this out. So I think, that kind of just, even though it's not a specific song, but it's a memory. And also, of course, Yosemite, just the rushing water or the sounds of the birds. And I've been there hundreds of times, and every time it's just so grounding, so centering, in the best of times and in the worst of times. So I think just sounds of nature.
Wonderful. Well, I think that's a very nice way how you describe this. If GuestOS had a human personality, how would you describe it?
A human personality? Oh man, these are some good questions. I love them. They're making me think, and that's a good thing, I would say, if I were to choose a voice of kind of just maybe Morgan Freeman's voice, because it's so calming and really helpful, and then I guess personality, really Disney comes to mind. I've read a lot about and just the way you feel, they've done exceptionally well with making people feel like it's the happiest place on earth, and the energy and the characters they bring to life. And we're doing that, and we're giving that tool to everyone's property. And, their AI teammate is someone that they don't call it GuestOS. They're probably like, what is GuestOS? Because they all have the names that they give, and they create their characters based on their business. But we definitely, now I'm going to have to think of this.
Right. What's one travel moment that completely changed how you see hospitality?
Ooh, I would have to say South Africa. My family in 2019 went to South Africa. We went to Cape Town, and then we went to and stayed at Shamwari, one of their safari locations. And from start to finish, that hospitality, it made us feel like we were at home. And I think that's the number one thing, hospitality. If you're doing a great job, you make people feel at home while they're on the road. And to the point, they actually did know all of our names when we walked in, which was funny because my sister and I, people will confuse us all the time, and they got it right. So they probably had to study our passport photo or something, but it didn't feel creepy. It was like a hospitable gesture, and just the conversations that we're able to have and really understand from their perspective, like the culture, and really well educated on just the animals. And it was more like that type of hospitality. It didn't feel, it felt very just natural, genuine. And I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. That really makes a difference. Not like you're hearing that checking in, ma'am, sir, and how long are you staying, and then you just give your room number, and that's a level of conversation. But you get something more, and you learn about the culture at the same time. So, if you could design the perfect guest experience, what's the one element you would never compromise on?
Communication.
Good.
That, beyond all the increase or I guess I can say at the core, the foundation of all these other things that other companies are optimizing for, which is increased revenue and all that. Well, you have to be able to communicate in a way that, resonates with guests and make that be a pleasant experience. I'd say communication is the core to everything else.
Good. Window, seat, or aisle, and does that say something about how you approach business?
Ooh, now I want to know your reasoning behind the window, seat, or aisle. I usually choose window because I love the sky and I love seeing the sky, and I think just all the road trips from Santa Cruz to Yosemite, sometimes in the same day growing up, I would always just become fascinated by the sky, and I would find a lot of joy in it too. I'd get the whole family. I'd be, you guys have to look at the sky right now. You just have to see this. And I don't know if they thought it was as exciting as I do. So I love the window seat for that reason, and also because I fall asleep on the plane, and I don't want to be sprawled out into the aisle and someone tripping on me. So I just, But now I'm curious, what's your choice?
Actually, I take aisle seat because I tend to have to go quite often to wash my hands, if you will. And then I don't want to disturb the person who's sitting next to me.
Oh, okay. Like me, who's sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
What does it say about our business?
Yeah, that's the question. That you have to answer. How about it say about the business?
I don't know. I don't really think about the seat. And I've been before. I'm like, I have to have the window seat, and now I'm like, oh, that's okay. I could be happy in the whatever seat.
Yeah. Okay. What's a place that instantly grounds you, no matter what's happening in your life?
Yosemite. I think just because growing up there and being through floods, fires, where we've almost lost our properties. We did lose a home 2 years ago. But also, every season, and Yosemite is something you have to experience in person through every season, because that is just the fall feeling of the crisp mornings and then the great weather and the leaves changing, and winter is just magical, and spring, it's like all the waterfalls are full and you get soaked by them and the wildflowers. So, but I think it's most grounding because of it humbles you all the time. Nature is a force, and regardless of what is going on in the outer world, it's stable there. And I think that to me just I'll always go there for I guess for the best of times and the worst of times. It's there.
Very good. Yeah. Okay, my final question is that if you could gather 3 dream dinner guests, so it will be 4 of you for dinner, anyone from the present day, history, or someone you look up to, who would they be? And what's the one topic you love to explore with them over dinner?
Would we all be at the same dinner table?
You would be all at the same dinner table, and you have a choice of anyone from the present day or a historical figure or someone you admire. Who would they be, and what's the one topic you love to explore with them over dinner?
Wow. You're asking me questions that I have not been asked before, but I love them. So they're great. So I love reading. I really love reading. And I lately I've been reading a lot about just entrepreneurs who have built categorical changing industries. So I think maybe just if I'm thinking about those things, I would say, wow. I'm reading about, now I have to grab my books. The founder of Hyundai, and that's a fascinating story. Grew up with nothing and left to build his own way. And I'm actually in the middle of his book now, but it's just like constant hardships and, and I think another book, actually their biographies are really similar. It's in terms of the name, it's called My Life, My Story. And another one is, Henry Ford. Of course, if you ask people what they wanted, they say a faster horse. And I think just thinking about that. And then another one, an incredible architect that his just the designs, and a lot of them focus on California and the really preserving the landscapes, but also his life was crazy as well. Went to war, almost died, came back and really had, and that's when he started the building career. And I just love learning about, and I think it brings a lot of comfort in this entrepreneurial journey when you dive into the actual things that happen. James Dyson, I read his several times. It's like 5,000 plus, over 5,000 prototypes to get it right. And you don't often glorify those moments where a company almost, didn't make it, and these really difficult challenges that they face. And so I'd say the common thing with the guests. Oh, and of course, I know this might be cliche, but Steve Jobs. I think there's just something about his way of thinking, the design between technology that people love to use, and the art side of it as well. But I think that would be an interesting. Now I'm going to create this scenario and ask what the discussions would be about. But yeah, it was interesting, I'd say.
But you mentioned the founder of Hyundai, Chung Ju-young. Who was born in North Korea? Yeah, and then he would have been a very fascinating guest at the dinner table of what he did and what he accomplished during his life, and how he was looking for the reconciliation of the country, because he was from what is currently North Korea, and then he escaped eventually, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a very interesting book you're reading.
Oh, it's wonderful. And it's really well, the design's amazing. But also, he brought the Olympics to Korea.
Yeah.
And just a lot of firsts. I think it's all these people I said, it's because they kind of were the first to do a lot of things that were seemingly impossible. But so, and I think that's really special, and the impact that they've brought to everyone's life. They all saw a brighter, more efficient world, I think.
Yeah. Very good. That could have been a very nice dinner conversation you had with these historical and larger-than-life personalities. Well, Jessie, thanks very much for our conversation today. It's going to be one of my highlights of this year, having the conversation with you. I learned so much about what you're doing and also how you see the importance of creating comfort and creating great hospitality for people, but also how to use the technology in the way that it is advancing the guest comfort and the trust in the place they're going. So that's very nice that you have taken the time, and I wish you all the success in what you're doing, and look forward to, I have to bring you back another time. We can continue the conversation.
Yes. Hey, in a year, I'm sure there will be a lot of advancements. But, I did think about the personality, because you said, what personality would GuestOS reflect? And I'm like, yes, actually, come here. This. Remy.
Oh,
Remy would be the
Remy.
Personality.
Very good.
She is just... she was taking a nap, but this really the fierce, kind to everyone, and even though she's all of 9 pounds, she tries to keep everyone safe. So it's an incredible thing, and she's just my co-pilot in this journey. So have to give her a shout out.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Social Hotelier Show. Make sure to visit our website, The Social Hotelier Show, blueberry.net, where you can subscribe to the show in Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, or via RSS, so you never miss a show. While you're at it, if you find value in this show, we appreciate a rating in Apple Podcast. Or if you simply tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. Be sure to tune in for our next episode.